Okay, hello again, everyone. Thanks for coming to the third edition of SWOT and PEST analysis by Cardano Builders. I'm already on the board. We have Matthias, Victor, myself. I don't think anyone else is joining today. Maybe one of them mentioned, but possibly not.
Yeah, Ryan expressed interest, but then he also said that he started his new job, so he might not come.
So I'm gonna jump right into sharing my screen as I explain what we're doing, just to recontextualize anyone asynchronously attending. So we're basically working on this Miro board in the context of the Cardano Builders Ideathon. We are maturing SWOT and PEST analysis, which are these things documented there, maturing them for the projects that were funded by the Ideathon. So on this board, we have a generic case where we put some post-its around generic crypto points. And we have already worked on AdaInk on the previous session. It's quite entangled here. I almost didn't remember this being so entangled. And we did the IRA facilitation. So these are not completely complete or matured, but what do you guys think we can do today? Are you looking more to jump into the PST or continue SWOT, put in another project, or mature these ones? What do you think? Do you want to do a thought experiment on another project that's not here or funded, or? I feel like saying let's do PST on Catalyst.
Okay.
No, just kidding. Okay, that would be really, really tricky.
It'd be timely.
It would.
But yeah, maybe we can jump into a PST maybe for AdaInk.
Okay.
I haven't really done a PST, so.
Yeah. Victor, any thoughts? You agree?
Yeah, I agree. I'll take a look here.
Okay.
At what was done so far.
Okay.
I think it's good.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna, because it's not really relating directly the PEST with the SWOT, so don't worry so much. But just maybe let's open up this link here for a moment, where we have the Investopedia article for PST. You have the pronunciation and everything. So political, economic, social, and technological factors that could impact a business. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure. For me, legal and environmental is not something I master. Political is tricky for us because we're global and local at the same time.
It's economic, not environmental.
Oh, sorry, I was reading it here.
Oh, okay.
That's what. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, legal and environmental. Okay, thanks for pointing that out. So yeah, so here. Let's go again. So political, economic, social, and technological.
Right. So in the UK, for example, right, they extend the PEST to PEST law, where they add also legal and environmental.
Yeah.
Here we just have political, economic, social, and technological.
So in terms of technological, we can speak for that. We have some insight on this. Social, it's a bit common sense and where we can get to as well. Economic, we start getting a bit local versus global, and political, I think I would say a bit the same. Let me just scroll a bit more, take a look at the key takeaways. External factors. More effective with larger organizations, and is usually used in conjunction with SWOT. Okay. I'm just going to scroll down very briefly. You can tell me to just close it if you want to move forward, but the economic part, for example, here has to do a bit with supply and demand, inflation and recession, exchange rates. So this is a nice framing for it. We have the political as well. Demographics on the social factors. Yeah, as we iterate this analysis, I think it would be really good to come back to the document and, you know, get more insight on what things can be seen as. Welcome to Dave. Not sure if you can say hi, but welcome. We're already on the Miro board. I'm going to drop the link on our chat for anyone that doesn't have it handy. Where do I have the chat? There we go. Okay. And okay, so coming back here, let's jump in. Do you want to do a warm up as we did for the other one? For crypto? Let's just do 5 minutes.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I already added 2 social stickies for AdaInk, but yeah, let's do.
Okay. Okay. Just as a warm up. So this one is the use case for the general crypto adoption and all that.
And we said last time we want to color code it, right? So green, red, and kind of yellow in the middle, or I don't know, white or something like that.
So
In
those colors
favor.
would, okay, positive or negative.
Right.
Okay, thanks. I didn't remember that. So we can take sticky notes from the left side and just pick a color if you're not familiar so much with Miro. You don't need to, some people tend to just copy the objects, but you can always come here, click a note, pick a color. In my case, I'm going to put here on the social that we are still on an early adoption. It's not even early majority. You remember that type of
Innovators. Yeah, we're
innovators. You were the early innovators, or just inventors?
Yeah, Harry Heller, he said something at the Cardano for Climate call the other day that the innovators are like the 2.5%, right? But we're 2.5% of the 2.5% within the blockchain space. But then also we're the 2.5% of that. So we're very early.
Yeah. I'm just gonna summarize it here a bit, saying we're like stage of innovator adoption. So this serves a bit as a negative, I think, I would say, in the social part.
I would put it neutral.
Yeah. Okay.
Personally.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Because actually for social, because for social, I see it more positive, right? Because there's a lot of opportunity to influence, but there's also negative aspects of that in the social.
Orange is good. Then,
section.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Similarly, on the Basically, these two are going to say we're early in terms of adoption and in terms of technological development.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Hi, Dave.
Hey, thanks. Came in and out a lot because of audio issues.
Yeah, no worries. Welcome. Are you okay with the Miro as well?
I can see the video, but I'm trying to load the website, which is not loading.
How are you logging in, with Google or with user password?
All I see is a dancing logo.
Yeah, that's
loading.
that's what happens when you confuse your browser, or your browser gets confused between your login approaches, or maybe it has to do with the extensions. So what I'm doing, if you see even my screen share, is I open an incognito browser and just make sure that I have the username and password to log in.
Okay.
If you're really confused in terms of your accounts, I would suggest going to an incognito one and create an account with an email and password. That way you would either recover your access for that email or create it.
Do you even need a account to utilize it?
Maybe not. Maybe just go into a browser, a private browser to start, and jump with this link in there.
We'll try. Okay.
Because this board was shared by a professional account, and you're right, Matthias, probably don't need.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Just wondering.
Yeah, it looks like I'm in.
Okay. If you see the dancing mouse.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where we are.
Got it.
It says visiting
We
artist.
got a visiting artist here.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah. It's better than the Google things that give names of animals. Okay. So we have adversity towards crypto and blockchain on the political side. On the green side here, I can write informally that politicians are starting to see it as an opportunity to stand out.
Yeah. I was thinking about that as well, but the way it's done is my own opinion. We have a couple of folks in the US that are very prolific in the Twitter space, and I always see their tweets pop up because people comment on it, and Twitter thinks like, oh, you should absolutely see that. Just surface level. It's just a voting grab. They don't understand jack shit about it. But yeah, it's right. Politics see that as an opportunity, so it is more in the dialogue.
Who's that guy? That guy that read the letter by some decks saying we don't keep records of our clients and this is by design. You know that Ted Cruz.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Well, I personally think he's an idiot.
Okay. I'm far away, so I'm just kidding.
I honestly dislike Ted Cruz, and I don't understand how anyone can vote for him. Honestly, if you look at who's voting for him, but again, it's uninformed, right? Like it's different in Europe, right, where people generally are a little bit more informed. And the US is horrible, and well, we see this weekend in Brazil, right, Victor? There's a big
yes, after tomorrow, let's see what happens. Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're past the 5 minutes for this warm-up. I think it was good, but let me know. Do you want to finish dropping anything in, or should we move on?
I'm just looking over what we got
take
here.
A quick review. You want to present the review of what we have?
I can just go over them. All right, so we were just that politicians are starting to see it as an opportunity to stand out, right? So that's somewhat positive, right? Overall, we have the adversity towards crypto and blockchain. So I think those two combined are actually, if we abstract it or see it at a higher level, there's an opportunity for dialogue. Economic, we have a rogue perception of price manipulation by central banks. So this is in favor of crypto. It's a good take. For social, right, we have the we are still early on the adoption curve. We're in the 2.5% of the 2.5% stage of innovator adoption. Right? For technological, also neutral early in terms of technological development. And positive Bitcoin and crypto are seen as generational innovation. All right.
Yeah, it's good that we decided to do the green and reds and neutral, and I think it's great. And I was also checking my notes. So Dave is working on the tokenomics analysis type of project. And so maybe if you want to help mature this one a bit, maybe it would be a nice exercise. We've also put in the SWOT analysis previously. When we went through this one, I think we were not so defined, so we may see some outliers there. But everything that you see written in here is about either crypto or I'm not really sure. I would have to go and see that session. But yeah, there's that invitation for Dave there, and I'm curious to mature this a bit. Okay, now so you have these links up here with the documentation. We were just taking a look at the PEST documentation. I invite you to take a look later if you want. And we're going to jump to the AdaInk, where we've already done substantial work on the SWOT analysis, which, by the way, has these cells flowing into the middle ones. And now, so this one has internal and external factors. And one thing we learned from our documentation earlier today is that this one is almost all external. It's usually more significant for big organizations, but we're going to do it for AdaInk. And also to contextualize AdaInk for you a bit, it's literally just a MVP type of project where instead of minting an NFT on Game Changer wallet, you would create a website which is themed for tattoo artists to come in, have their profile, and mint their NFT to deliver to their client with their metadata of the shop, with the metadata of the client, and a little more. So around this, we'll also need to build a community, to have the solution being shared peer-to-peer.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just going to start dropping things in. If you guys want to speak your mind, please go ahead.
Right. Just bringing up social perspectives, right? So I think we're at a point that generally tattoos are widely accepted, right? So that is a positive, but also I think more neutral thing, NFTs are still fairly new. They are kind of misunderstood. So maybe that's more of a negative thing. Yeah, because tattoos were there too.
Okay. Victor, you want to share one?
Yes, I'm trying to think more about the technological side, because I think that's what I know more about this topic. And I think since it's quite a simple, it's a very insightful but simple application, the technology is ready for use.
That was one of the ideas, that one of the factors that drove me to think up this thing as my first project ever.
Yes. And I was thinking about something else about like adoption, but this is what Matthias already mentioned on the social side, that actually it could be like an opportunity as well, because since it's very simple to understand and simple to use, could be a way to onboard more people to Web3.
Yeah, exactly the concept. Yeah. On the economic side, I'm also adding in not that costly to build or to run. So the for clients to buy for clients. So if we just put in like 5 ADA,
Inexpensive.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Dave, you have any thoughts?
I'm actually reading through
Okay.
your submission here.
Okay.
Do you have 30-second pitch, Lucas, for AdaInk?
Okay. Well, I sort of did it, but okay. So AdaInk aims to articulate the persistence of a tattoo on your skin with the persistence of NFT on the blockchain. It also bridges a bit with the concept of physical asset. In this case, it's not very physical. Well, it is physical in the intimate sense that it's with your body forever, and a metaverse asset. For example, even if we extend the project and roll out a number of features, we would be able to get that tattoo to show on your avatar in the metaverse. So it bridges a bit both things. And yeah, in terms of incentivizing or facilitating global adoption, it's something that goes into a community of tattoo people, tattoo fans, I think I would say, that would probably start sharing it with friends. If we go onto the cyber culture, I would maybe call it, we already have some members of the community that are talking about tattooing QR codes on themselves, and so there's that side of thing, which can get a bit trickier. But so, by the way, on this framing, I was just having a course this morning about facilitation for meetings and everything, and I decided to do, for 2 weeks, I'm going to be reaching out to tattoo shops and asynchronously trying to gather them on Discord, and then organize a first call after already mingling a bit with them via chat. So I'm going to include this project of communication, of facilitation, in the facilitators course, and invite you to keep in the loop. We have the Crypto Oompa Loompas server where this is being hosted for now. It's just a playful Discord generic server.
Nice. One thing under political, maybe, well, I have 2 points. Under technological, would it be transferable or non-transferable? Do you think?
What do you mean with transferable? Sorry.
Meaning, normally people trade these NFTs, whereas in real life you can't. Tattoos, so.
Well, speaking on the technical point of view, if you're really holding an NFT, it's in your wallet and you have the power to send it. So from there, yeah, it would be absolutely transferable. The concept of the project for now is not really to be making a marketplace out of it. But that said, we can also, for example, when you have a use case where a client goes into the shop and he wants such tattoo that's an original by the client, it's completely different than to say, this tattoo artist has a nice draft and he wants to pre-mint or mint 10 copies of it that he will then send to the clients as he serves them. So if you go with the second use case, it would be not just transferable, but sellable. Right, but
that's interesting, right?
Yeah, but you raise a nice point. I'm actually going to put it here, maybe in white, because it's completely an open question. Where if I give someone the NFT, it doesn't really prove that the person holding that NFT is still the person that has the tattoo on his skin, because you know. Cheers. I'm just going to make a note here.
Yeah, because I was thinking that earlier too, right? And I think this is also a question of like, who do you want to be in the metaverse, right? Is it just bringing your physical self in the metaverse, or is that what I think is happening, just another virtual reality kind of thing, right? You have a little bit of a different identity in various spaces, right? So,
Yeah.
but right, I mean, one of the purposes of NFTs, well, I guess the use cases beyond JPEGs was, okay, you know, this is my deed, for example, this is my legal document, this is like, this shows ownership on the blockchain, and that's transferable. And I think Dave raised an excellent point, right? Like, okay, you know, I transfer NFT, so I'm gonna, you know, cut my tattoo out, a couple layers into skin, and then
Yeah. So it's the same problem we were talking about, Catalyst and identity versus wallets and etc. I think this is a ubiquitous problem in crypto currently. When you really want to manage your audience, or if a person is not a wallet, a person can have several wallets, and there's the digital ID that is seen. I was just on a call with Gimbal Labs as well, where Curtis is working with Snaprilia, and he's saying that they're equating quadratic voting with the IDs, digital IDs. So that could solve the equation a bit. But sorry, I'm diverging a lot. Here, I'm just writing that digital IDs could articulate to, so that the NFT is issued for the ID and not so much for an address.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but I would really use your, appreciate your input, Dave, along as the process, as the project evolves. So I'm going to send you an invite to our channel, our project channel. Okay.
Sure. We've got another point that might be under political, which is about IP ownership of the art. I don't know, like in the same way legally, would it be recognized as the artist owning it, the design, or
this is something that I was sharing recently. There are some legal voids. There are some standards on the like. There's one which is the common Creative Commons or something. So there are some standards, and it comes down to the terms. I think I was watching this video around Bored Ape Yacht Club and everything, and it comes down to the terms that they put in on their license. Okay, so it is tricky, it's ambiguous, we need to define it, but there are some standards that we can refer to cover this area.
So there's two things if you put it into the real world, right? Because there's copyright, or like who owns the rights for any type of reproduction, right? But then there's also authorship, right?
Okay.
Because so I guess in the case of a real world tattoo, the tattoo artist definitely has authorship, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are the ones creating it, and they're getting paid for the creation, but the copyright, what to do with it, is for the client, the customer who paid for it. The copyright is transferred, because, you know, if I'm taking a selfie with my tattoos, right, I don't have to go ask the author. Like that, it is mine, right? I'm wearing it, it belongs to me. I can decide, of course, within other legal frameworks, how, when to show it to whom, right? But yeah, I think there's a concept of authorship, but then also the buyer usually has the copyright, because it's you're paying for a service. Or sometimes you pay for time, sometimes you pay for the end result. That depends. That is more of a package kind of scenario, like how do you want to get paid? But
could you envision this for advertising, as in a company wants to advertise their logo, and they pay somebody to get it tattooed or they still own that logo, and then the the client gets paid for displaying it.
That's an interesting question. I don't think, like, for example, anyone from the Cardano Foundation reached out to any people who tattooed the Cardano logo on themselves, because the Cardano Foundation actually owns the logo. They have the copyright on that. So that in general is also an interesting question, if you would like, because now you become essentially a brand ambassador without the approval of the organization you're representing by wearing their logo. That's maybe a different component to it. By the way, Lucas, for you, I am giving you a 6 minute and 17 seconds warning.
Yeah. Okay. So out of this that we were just talking about, do you feel like, do you want to formalize anything else on the political, legal quadrant here?
I think it's interesting that there's nothing positive to say about political.
Well, but it is something that's always, like I've been discussing with Matthias since the beginning. It's like you want to do a project, you have a simple concept, but then when you start talking about the legal and the commercial rights and all that, it starts, even financial billing, for example, it's one of the things. We're going to have to issue a bill, an invoice or something. So we'll need to have an entity that's issuing those.
Right, and then jurisdiction becomes complicated potentially.
Yeah.
So probably nobody in Russia can use that service for a while. Or Iran.
Not sure. Yeah. Okay. I don't want to duplicate things, so I won't put in on the social one. We'll have to build a community, etc. Especially because we spoke about PEST being more external, and we already have that type of thing here on the weaknesses of we're going to have to build the organization from scratch. Actually,
well, the question is about community in general, right? I think it was the first session where I spoke, where I gave you unsolicited advice to, embed yourself in the existing communities, right, of tattoo artists and people who are interested in getting tattoos. So I think on a higher level, at least not to my knowledge, anyone gets persecuted from like a tattoo community, right? Whereas there are other identity groups that are still stigmatized on a social level.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, so that's why we have the tattoos are widely accepted there.
Right.
That's cool. Okay.
And also the groups themselves, right? Because sometimes there's actually a disconnect. Right.
But who put in here? Oh, NFTs are misunderstood.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. Yeah. So here I would add a comment, if I may, saying we need to articulate with Cardano for non-techs. Okay, maybe I can stop sharing my screen, and I would maybe ask you guys what we can do next week. Maybe just have 3 minutes. Do you have any thoughts, or how you think this is going?
I think it's interesting. I wonder how to now combine the SWOT and PEST analysis. If there are like any outcomes that we can derive that inform like next steps, or in terms of how to move the project forward, or what to look out for, or are there any resources that you need, right?
Okay. So maybe I'll research a bit of that. So how to combine both of them. Maybe get an example, a very mature one to widen our horizon. Okay. Like professionally done. boards, and also maybe we can focus on PST for next session and work on IRA. Since we started on that one, maybe if I'll make sure that we get our colleague extend our availability, or to see if he can be the first one to find the timing that fits him. Dave, do you want to throw in something for next session?
Yeah, and the timing you're still trying to fix, right?
The scheduling?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, we've been jumping around every week, and now we're talking about giving some priority for the IRA person. But I don't think we're gonna, because we're jumping from between projects, maybe we're not gonna be very, very like defined on a weekly time.
Gotcha. So I'm thinking what I can do for my project, because
Okay.
mostly I'm in
We really just have 1
education.
minute on this one, so.
Yeah, I'll just attend next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. But don't hesitate to drop and maybe even work on the board if you want. You can just access it through the link and start creating your own space in there if you want.
Yeah.
And that's it for today, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
Thank
Have
you.
a great
everyone.
weekend. Bye.
All right.
Bye bye.
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 Bye.